This is not fun. Summer should be fun. Minna, not fun.
Who would have guessed that In the City would be boring without the summer house lead-in? So hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. We are talking about In the City, Season 1, Episode 6. And this is the first one that we've not had any kind of summer house reunion or summer house, appetizer to get us started. And it's a little lackluster.
Yeah, we've talked about this in previous weeks, but I don't know. I don't really care that much about the majority of these cast members.
Mhm.
And there's just too many. There's just too many storylines.
Yes.
Too brief a little snippet of everything. It's like, here's 30 seconds with Danielle and her mom. Here's 30 seconds with Whitney and Kenny. Here's 30 seconds with, Lindsay talking about how she got pregnant. Like, okay. I mean, like, can we just settle on like any one of these storylines and give us a little bit of meat to it?
Well, apparently not. But as some of you guys know, I did not do as much social media as I wanted to, but I just got back from my trip last night and I have a little agenda. I'm going to run go get it. You talk for a second.
Okay. Not sure what I'm going to be talking about here, but okay. So Sunday and I both have been on vacation. I went to the mountains and did a digital detox, basically. Sunday went, I think, the other way. She went to the city and went and checked out. So did you get to meet my boyfriend, Carl?
I did not, but I did go to Brooklyn.
Go to Soft Bar. But
yes, it took three chains and half a day to get to Brooklyn. But while we were there, we did some really fun things.
Were you okay?
Huh?
I said, did you make it, Ellie Mae? Are you okay?
We made it. Thank goodness. You get the hang of it after a while, but Soft Bar is really cool. Yes, I'm just saying for me, like I get the hang of it after a while, but I'm always just kind of this.
It does take a minute.
And, we saw someone slip on a banana peel in the subway.
Literally?
Literally. Like Emily, I thought it was a bit.
That's better than some of the literal shit that I slipped on in subways when I was
Yes. Well, we had a much more horrifying subway story from last year because I always go once a year. I've been going once a year. Carla goes several times a year. And we saw an actual dead body on the subway platform last year. So this was a much better, but I thought she was doing a bit. I was like, is that for real? And me and Carla were look at each other and she wasn't. She recovered really quick and went going. But so remember, for all of you folks who don't know much, Soft Bar is completely non-alcoholic. That is its whole thing, except you wouldn't know it from the prices. I ordered a bubbling, a Blanc de Blanc. It was really delicious. And truthfully, I could not tell the difference. It did taste like wine. And then the sweet little bartender gave us a shot, a little booster shot. But our ticket, I had a drink, Carla had one drink, and then a free shot. And our ticket was $35, which fine. I know that prices are different, but I mean, I don't even get a buzz for $35. It was good. But, the World Cup is ongoing. And so there was the energy was really high and people were, on their little laptops and it was fun. It was a fun vibe. It wasn't packed by any means. By any means was it packed. But I mean, and then we went from there to Brooklyn Bowl and that was where we had the real fun there. But I appreciate that. We also went to Top Chef restaurant, Sherry. It was called Metropolis by M. That shit was good as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it was really good. We had a beef salad and I had pasta, which I don't typically order pasta, but it was really good. And I had it the next morning. That was and it was in a really cool part of town. But the big moments were just kind of schlepping it around town.
Yeah.
Now, New York City dwellers have a very different tolerance and sensitization to things around. So Carla and I are riding and we are coming home. It'd been a day. We're like, okay, we're getting home. It's kind of it's early enough. We can kind of relax. It's 8:30. We're going to go home. We see a lady who is all the way slumped over. She's in the seat and but her head is almost like between her knees to her ankles. And like Carla and I are like, oh my God, really 2 years in a row we see a dead body? Absolutely not. But then I noticed she was breathing. And so I went over there and I could see the other people like, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Don't get sucked in. But I went over and I was like, hey, are you good? I thought she was having some kind of like drug induced overdose situation. And you know, I carry Narcan in my purse just for this very reason. And so she wakes up and she's crying a little already. And I said, hey, are you okay? She was like, I just need to get it home. I just need to get home. I just need to get home. Took us a very long time to kind of figure out. I said, well, do you need this? But she was responsive, the Narcan. She said no. Tried to slip it into her purse. She wouldn't let me. So Carla was like, hey, why don't we just help you get to your stop? This woman lived on the outskirts of Brooklyn. Like we had to go all the way through. We were on the train for 2 extra hours, riding her to her stop. She was crying the whole time. She was actively embracing Carla the whole time, crying. If you know my wife, you know how uncomfortable this made her. At one point, she had fallen asleep on Carla's arm.
Imagine Carla sitting like very stiff arms.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're there. It's so. I mean, like she's just not a like.
Yeah. And so the lady had sort of like slumped over onto her sort of forearm right here and fallen asleep. And when she sits up, there was a lot of mucus happening on her face, on Carla's arm.
Poor Carla.
Oh, she was out of her brain. And we are coming from eating out. We went to eat at the same restaurant from the Love Story, JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. We were there. It's called like Pen 2 Garden, something, whatever. We ate. It was really cool. And we're like really riding high. We have our leftovers. Well, she's starving. So we give her leftovers. Our leftovers were too spicy for her because it was Indian. And so then I had to reach in my purse and get I was drinking like a regular Coca-Cola. Carla was drinking. She was like guzzling them. And we got her to the train, to the stop, to which she said, because I kept saying, hey, is there someone I can call to meet you? She was like, no, we don't have a phone. And it didn't seem like English was her first language, but she wasn't speaking Spanish. And I was very afraid to call any sort of authorities in case she was undocumented.
Right.
But she just kept saying, don't leave me. I'm going to fall asleep. I can't stay awake. So, so we rode 2 hours to like 58. I mean, it was a long, long way. And then we had to ride back, and me and Carla are just sitting there. We sent our leftovers with her. No leftovers, no Coke products to get us home. Just sitting there quiet on the train, rocking our way home.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the subway is always an adventure. And then
It's an adventure. I agree.
And then we saw Lost Boys, the musical,
Yeah,
which
was that?
so freaking good. You know, it won a ton of Tonys, which I didn't know this. Why would I know something won a Tony? I didn't. But it was really, really good. And the stage production was so good because they fly around a lot.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot of like little wink, wink to the 80s and stuff. It was really, really good. And I had a really good time. And we saw a drag brunch.
It's like based on the movie, right?
Yes. And I think it would be really fun if they did the Mean Girls treatment, like do a movie that was based on the play that was based on the movies, because that's what Mean Girls did a little, and it would be really fun. And the guy who played the David character, which is traditionally the Kiefer Sutherland, had a fun voice that was like real sexy vampire voice, and it was really good. So if you guys are going to see a show, that is it. And yeah, drag brunch, in which this was Carla's trip of humiliation. Okay. She went to the drag brunch and we're sitting in our drag. And so I sat in the booth, not in the aisle, and Carla sat on the chair on the outside because she thought, okay, nobody's going to mess with me. Girl, every time the drag folks walked by, they touched her shoulder. They even tried to interview her, and they're like, hey, where are you from? And Carla immediately shut down. Usually she's like the ambassador for our town, telling everybody about it. But she was like, Georgia. And so meek and mild. And they just kept on. And then so she was like, Sunday, trade places with me. So we traded seats. And about that time, it was Olivia Lux and Peppermint, who were very famous. They're doing their finale, and they're going to crawl on the booth behind where Carla is sitting now. And so they are just like they're doing all of the stuff behind her and they're touching her. And she is just like paralyzed even after we had traded seats. So Carla just really went through it.
Carla.
I know. It's so funny. I'll have to post. There's one where, she's literally just sitting there and the lady's crawling behind her. And I was like, and then like she's trying to get down. And I was like, Carla, just be still. Like, be still so she could like work on you. And Carla's like trying to move to get her out of the way. It was hilarious. But it was for a good cause. They raised a lot of money and stuff. And it was some very famous drag stars. So it was a really, really good time. And sometimes I can be a little grouchy about it. Yeah, but I had a really good time. And she's not even home until tomorrow, so she's still enjoying. She's got some nerdy podcast shit she's going to. So that is my In the City corner for In the City.
Well, it sounds like you guys had a great trip. I'm excited that you got to go to those fun little places that we've been seeing.
We did. I walked myself blisters because, you have to schlep everywhere.
Yep.
But, I get home now to talk about this show. Rushing home, the Newark airport, shooting me in the foot at every turn. Rushing home to talk about this.
To talk about this vanilla pudding episode.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it. But to remind, back in the good old days when we still had Summer House to rely on, they did some wild lover boy marketing. Have you seen any of the news about the scuttle about Kyle and Lindsay this week?
Yeah. I saw something and then either one or both of them came out and was like, no, there's absolutely no beef between us. We are like brother and sister. Like,
right. But it was the other way is what I'm delivering to my timeline is that people are sniffing around that maybe they're suggesting there's more to their relationship. They're doing this like marketing Cannes Lion Fest or something. And they are obviously hammered in all of the clips. And I think at one point, Kyle is being interviewed and he was like, ha ha ha, Lindsay took a shower in my room last night. And Lindsay, you hear Lindsay drunko coming from the outside. Kyle, what? And so she has to like clarify that's happening. And then there's like a piggyback situation. And so people who are not as versed in the universe as we are kind of like, oh, what's this crazy stuff?
No,
I
would 100% do not see that. I don't see, not that Kyle wouldn't because, we know he's kind of a makeout slut, but like, I genuinely think like as bad as Lindsay wants to get laid, like number one, she's not going to go for one of her friends or ex-friends' exes.
Well, that's why I think Kyle wouldn't do it.
I don't think that she has any like lady boner for him at all. Like she is just, he is so clearly in the friend zone. Like even though he's older than her, he is her little brother. So yeah,
they do have he has a very little brother vibe.
Yeah.
So so I didn't believe that, but that whole lover boy marketing that they did last week when they were on the trolley getting on and off, that reminded me of the scuttle. And Danielle's talking about people, and I'm doing that in quotes, calling her a homewrecker when really it's just Amanda being a bitch in the group chat, like retweeting all of these nasty articles about her.
Yeah, and let's talk about this for a second too. I didn't think about this until after we watched, so obviously that trolley situation that was last week. And I didn't think about this until afterward, but when they were showing this recap, I started thinking about it. It's very interesting that Amanda claims that she just, on the Summer House reunions, that she shut down because there was yelling. And whenever there's any yelling, she just shuts down. She just can't operate when there's any yelling. And then she's freaking yelling like a psycho at Danielle on this trolley ride. Like, okay, ma'am, which is it? Like, you either cannot operate or think a coherent thought or speak if there's any yelling or what? Like,
well, also,
so
we'll get to it in a minute too, but
so tired of Amanda. Like, I want her to get on a slow moving ship and just
sail away. But we see too that it's not that she is averse to conflict, because the way she was talking to Kyle later about all that kind of stuff, like she's obviously not conflict avoidant. It's just she feels she feels ganged up on, or she feels victimized. And so that's what's happening in those.
I don't even know if she actually feels that. I think honestly, the more that I watch her, she really has got some very I don't know that she actually is feeling any of these things. I think she has decided that that's her role, that her role is like victim, and she's just going to keep playing it and playing it. But like, I don't actually see any true emotion there.
Well, we see her dad.
And I mean, the way that we go, yeah, I know I'm jumping ahead, but this episode is so nothing. I don't think we need to go play by
play. I agree.
But like when she and Kyle are like having this conversation there, like at the end or whatever, she is so obviously gaslighting him. She is so obviously projecting stuff on him, you know? And good for Kyle. I think Kyle has definitely been going to therapy.
Yes, but he didn't go hard enough on her. He did not
out with a few like little statements where I was like, "Yep, you've been talking to a therapist. Good job."
Yeah. I thought the same thing too. Like, I really hope that this man is getting healed, and we're definitely going to get there. But before we get there, I want to talk about the mess that is Kyle and Amanda's apartment, and then what turns out to be Kyle's apartment. Her shit is everywhere.
Like entire second bedroom that all she did is pile stuff up on the bed.
And she told Kyle, she was like, I know you're mad about me piling out on the bed. I'll get it in 2 years. And like Jeff and I had this conversation about another character on Vanderpump Rules who is kind of like just a disgusting narcissist, human, horrible monster, but he's a real neat freak and his girlfriend is not. And that is where I can just feel sympathy for Amanda to perform this way in this space where this man is craving order and craving cleanliness, and her to just constantly dump her shit everywhere. That is such a disregard for it. And no matter what Kyle has done, like that's really, really dysregulated. Like that's really awful.
It is
to crave cleanliness.
And it's just like, she's just a shitty human being. Also, ma'am, you paid movers to come get your shit. Why did you not take all of it? And also, why don't you have any furniture being delivered to your new apartment?
And why don't you have room for your shit? Because you have a completely empty, unfurnished apartment.
Right, exactly. And you don't have one stick of furniture. You have obviously set up this thing ahead of time. I mean, you signed a lease. You knew your move-in date. You knew the date that your movers were coming. You walk your happy ass right on over to IKEA or ABC Carpet and Home or wherever you want to go buy your furniture. And you go, okay, I want this and this and this, and I want it delivered on this date. I mean, like,
this is diabolical in that she is still trying to convince Kyle that this is temporary and that this is, I'm not taking all of my stuff because this is only a miniature break or whatever. And like, she knows in her brain that it's not, but that's her justifying this laziness.
Yeah.
And like Kyle's just craving for his clutter. Like later we see him, he brings in professional organizers, which, I mean, that was a real play right there. Like, that's a good call there, sir. Cause come on.
Absolutely.
But Amanda walking around talking to her dog. Well, you don't have some man bringing folks over to my house. The some man you're referring to is your husband that you're supposedly trying to get back with. Like, ma'am, you are talking out of both sides of your neck. I don't care. Also, you know what else I don't care about? Nick and Yvonne's wedding. I don't care about this.
Not even at all. I mean, literally, that's what I wrote down. Yvonne/Nick, quotation mark, wedding. Don't care. I don't care.
I don't either. And also, too, I think it is really boring to make us watch them go through all the bureaucratic steps it takes in the New York City courthouse wedding. Like, this, are we not watching a show? Am I watching like home closed circuit TV from the courthouse? This is so boring. Why are you doing this to me?
Here, I'm not entertained by this.
No, not at all. And I thought that we were about to get some kind of juicy connection when Yvonne was like, Lindsay and I got engaged around the same time. I was like, oh, what? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. No, we didn't. We get to see Lindsay in her super hot, sexy 3-piece suit, but just be a normal, regular person, which is not what I want to spend an hour doing. You know what? This show comes on the same time as Love Island. Her not normal, regular, level-headed people, those dummies on the island over there. But I sat in the city and I watched these dummies when I could have been over there watching them folks spread STDs. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
I completely agree.
And I have to admit too, I fast forward. Do what?
I said Bravo's got to get somewhere with this show. Like, they've got to come up with a point for this show real fast.
Well, how many did we do some research last week? How many episodes did we say it was? 8, 10?
8 is what I thought I heard.
Okay. Well, that was 6 was last night. So, you know, they're going to, we're going to air the last 2 and then decisions will be made. I mean, I just don't know if it can carry its own self. You know what would carry its own self? Kyle, Lindsay, and maybe Georgina, and throw some Carl in there. That's the show I would watch because those people know how to reality TV. I fast forwarded through most of Kenny and his dad's shit. I feel bad. No, you know what? No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Don't make me watch this shit. It's boring. Now, you know what would have been not so boring? If they had addressed the elephant in the room and been like, hey, Dad, why the fuck did you leave 25 years ago? I have been struggling to keep my manhood and my abandonment issues in check. Do you think you might have something to say about that? That's a show I would watch.
Well, and also, okay, so here's the only thing I do care about with this whole Kenny, his dad situation thing. And I sent this to you, I think, last week on Instagram. So there's this post that I saw. It looks like, I don't know, maybe it was like on, it may have been like a Twitter, or maybe it was an Instagram, like a comment on somebody's post or whatever, where the guy says that he's one of Kenny's half brothers. Do you remember me?
How old? I don't know. I've been out of pocket the last few days. How old is this person?
Okay, so this person, Wash Gillock is his like handle. Okay.
Okay.
And there's a few words in here that I can't tell if it's like typos or what. But okay. So
oh no.
He says, I'm one of Kendon's half brothers. Kendon? I didn't know.
Is that his real name?
Sorry. The dog.
That's okay.
So Kendon, is that your government name? Okay. He reached out to me desperate for information on our dad, which unfortunately I had none. So old buddy has been spreading his seed all around the world, apparently. And
so he's leaving to go get cigarettes and not coming back all around the country.
Yeah. He told me he'd hired a PI and said he'd update me when he found information. Little did I realize it was all a ploy for this show. Assuming this episode is recorded and then on scheduled release, he's got his answers and left me out of it. The faux family reunion approach was to secure TV clout, using, quote, trauma to try and bond with the intention of staking his spot on, this dude said, Z-tier reality TV.
Wow. Woo. Washagosh is really coming in hot.
Right? So using trauma to try and bond with the intention of staking his spot on Z-tier reality TV is bottom of the barrel stuff. Proper bell end. I don't know what that means. Bell end? Maybe
I don't
a villain. I don't know. Can understand the hate in the comments now.
Well, has he watched any of the other shows? Because that is really a drop in the bucket of the reasons that we hate this motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, but I just found it really like.
I mean, it feels. Yes.
You know, like, yeah, of course he was using this just for trying to get some. Like,
well,
you know, I mean,
yeah.
Like on the one hand, thank you, I guess, Kenny, for trying to develop some sort of storyline that could have some kind of drama and interest on this boring vanilla TV. But also, we don't care. You need to be more likable for me to give a shit that your dad likes.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I think that he came in with this very manufactured way of being. He thought, oh my God, this is going to kill. Like, hearts are going to be breaking, not a dry eye in the house. And meanwhile, he is so disgusting. You know, that whole fight between him and Andre a couple of weeks ago really piqued my interest in Andrea. I'm like, oh, and now Andrea's crying to please stop having sex with me because my penis is sore. This is the gold here. I don't need to see Larry crying in a freaking cafe when we got Andre with a broken penis.
Right. Like, Andrea and Nick out here for a jog talking about how their wives' apps keep telling them when they have to have sex to have a baby. Like, that's more.
I do too. And then how they were like going back and forth between them in the bodega aisle and them in the street. And Yvonne's like, I don't understand how it works. And Lindsay's like, it's circled on your app, ma'am.
Right. There's your window. That's when you do it.
Yes. And Was Lindsay teasing about how she was doing backward bridge in her living room and got pregnant? Because I need
though, because
draw me the schematics of that, please.
Because I do yoga as well, and I was thinking, I don't know how the physics of that would actually work for the penis to get in there
All right.
in the middle of a back bend.
Feels like gravity's working against you in that way.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that she's just joking around.
Yeah, but also
meant after they did it, she kind of did that position for keeping everything inside a little bit.
Well, what really puts my antenna up is, were her and Turner planning on getting pregnant? Because the way she knows her way around the apps and the
fertility test, the ovulation thing, and then talking about, well, how did you get pregnant? Oh, well, this is what I did, kind of thing. That very much sounded like someone who was actively trying to get pregnant.
And Lindsay, I don't know if you watched far enough back to see the season with her timeline, the very embarrassing timeline in which she had this list of every year of things that she wanted to do. So Lindsay's always been very goal oriented, very bottom line obsessed. And so if the bottom line was to get a baby, she got a baby.
Yeah.
But we do, and this is another thing too that you and I have really expressed disinterest in. We already know that both Lexi and Yvonne are pregnant. So the stakes are zero. We don't need to know any about that. Now show us more about, Nick and Andrea trying to figure out how to get out of 8-hour sex sessions. Fine. That's funny. But I mean, I don't know. It's just the show doesn't know what it is yet. And this is a weird analog for me to make, but I really wish that it could take a cue from the NYC Next Gen, because that is also sort of a spin-off show. It's taking famous kids from some of the famous housewives in the franchises and put them in a friend group. Mm-hmm. And it just really understands what we want to see from that particular dynamic. We want to see them going out, or see them fighting, or seeing them spending money. And In the City doesn't understand what we want to see from them. It was really living in the shadow of Summer House because we wanted to see what was happening with Kyle and Amanda. But now that has run out, now that the press has demonstrated without one secret what's happening, why is there left? All we have to do is log into the blogs. Why do we need to watch the show? Yeah. And Danielle's mom seems like a delight, still doing her laundry at the big age of 40 years old.
Comes to visit her once a week.
Same day, every week.
Every week, yeah. Yeah, she was cute. I liked Danielle's mom.
I do too. And I'm trying really hard to like Danielle, but I think just poisoned, or maybe I'm biased from her previous showings on Summer House, but I find her to be off-putting. And the way she's talking about this man's divorce, yes, and a little clueless. You mean this man's...
I think that she's a little socially awkward, and I'm not sure, sorry, Danielle, but I'm not sure that she's super bright. I think some of her stuff that she says might come from not being super cerebral. Sorry.
Not everyone has to be super cerebral, but listen, my mom used to say this to me: if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. And she's not tough enough to be as clueless as she is. This shit about how what a dark cloud his divorce is over her relationship. Imagine being this man's ex-wife at home watching this and being like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is my divorce hard for you?" Yeah,
right. I'm sorry,
dummy.
My marriage, where I pledged to be with someone for all of eternity. I'm sorry, is this difficult for you?
Look, it's very self-aware. Yeah. And what do you make of her mom's advice to be supportive of this man that's still married and actively going through a divorce? What do you make of that advice?
To be supportive of his...
Well, she just said, my mom told me to be supportive. Her mom just was like, just be supportive of him during this time.
Oh, I think I may have missed that. I may have gotten distracted by my phone.
Well, that's how I was with Kenny and his dad. I was scrolling on my phone.
I mean, overall, I would always say try to be supportive of your partner. What you're going through. But, I mean, I don't know. What was the point exactly? Complaining?
No, her mom is sort of checking in with her about the divorce. How's it going with Owen? Are things progressing? And, how are you feeling about it? And he's like, well, it's been really hard. It's been like a dark cloud. And her mom was like, we just really need to be supportive of him during this time. Just be there for him. And I found that advice to be a little strange. It's not like this man has cancer. He's divorcing another woman, and they're on a show about it.
This divorce is taking a long time, apparently,
Yeah.
for some reason. I mean, I still don't know that we know exactly why, because he doesn't have kids with this other woman.
No.
So it's gotta be just all financial stuff. So, I mean,
That's I don't know. It just seems a little tone deaf. That doesn't seem like outside talk. Like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, for you to take the stance on this show while this woman or her friends or her family is watching, that support him while he's trying to do this. Maybe it could just be like, hey, let's just let it play out the way it's going to play out. It'll be over when it's over. He's got it. You go about your. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just
maybe
felt
it should have
strange.
meaning, like, don't, like, harp about it, or something. Because, like,
Maybe.
I do sometimes get the feel from Danielle that she's, like, just a little self-involved about this.
Yes.
Like, I just can't believe it. I met someone who's married and fell in love, and he's not divorced yet. I can't believe it. Like, well, ma'am, things take the amount of time that they take.
Yeah.
And
that's a good way to put it.
you and I have both been through divorces. So
yeah.
there are two people involved in there. Both people have to agree on things. Both people have to sign things. Both people have to be, like, moving this process forward. And we don't know anything about his ex-wife. And quite honestly, Owen, he seems a little, like vanilla. Like, he seems a little nice, but whatever.
He got a little spicy later with the boys, though, when they were talking about it a little. Yeah.
But, I mean, he may have kind of been one of these, like, well, I'm not pushing her on this because, like, maybe she wanted the divorce, or maybe he wanted the divorce. And so he was like, I'm just not going to push her on it because I know this is hard. But then once he met Danielle or re-met Danielle, and then they started a thing, then maybe it kind of gave him a little more, like,
yeah.
Oh, maybe I
And
do
then
more on this.
And as it was playing out on the TV show, and then, like, stories start to come out about it, it changes the texture of it just a little bit, I think. I don't know him well enough to like him or dislike him. Like you said, he's pretty neutral.
Yeah.
In mine.
I mean, like, overall, I'm okay with him, but I'm not like.
Yeah.
He's just.
And the very next scene is, like, the Yvonne and Nick of it all, which her dress was really pretty. I thought it was really pretty. Whatever. But we learn that Lindsay has been out 2 more times with the milkman.
With the guy who won't fuck her when all she wants supposedly is to be fucked. So what?
And you can listen to any of our I always say Vampire Rules, our Vanderpump Rules coverage. I don't know why. It always comes out Vampire Rules. To hear me complain about how I don't like when shit happens off screen, I find that to be a little robbing. Like, come on, you're on this show. Like, give me what I want, especially this boring ass shit.
When you've already introduced Frank to us as a character that you're, hanging with,
and
so why not give us.
I am off put by Yvonne insisting on knowing what Lindsay wants. Lindsay says that she just wants to have fun, but I know deep down she wants a serious relationship. How about we take Lindsay at her word? How about we let her tell us, even though.
How about Lindsay's a grown-ass woman and she's like, say she wants one thing and then change her mind midway. I mean, exactly. Like, I personally feel like I don't really like Yvonne. She just, something about her rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like she is trying to sort of insert herself a little bit more in the Lindsay life, and stuff, and make herself out to be this, well, I'm the Lindsay expert. Like,
yeah, I find that to be off-putting.
Make me more interesting. Like, give me something that would make you interesting on your own, because, like, you just being like Lindsay's,
and
for years is like, it's fine, but it doesn't make you.
Most of us are also Lindsay experts.
As I sit here being Sunday's sidekick on this podcast.
Well, no, we are equal kicks here. But what I find off-putting is, like, we're all Lindsay experts. We've been watching her from day one. Exactly. You don't tell me something that I already know. Like, I don't know. You're right. But we get 30 seconds of them at the courthouse schlepping from one window to the next. And at even one point, she was like, "Are we married?" That's great TV, ma'am. Great TV. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But then we head to Amanda's apartment on her own, which is also disgusting and awful. And we meet her dad, Frank. And she calls him her protector. What I heard was, this man has always paid my bills. This man has always bailed me out of everything. And now I'm about to be back on his dole. And Frank is just tired of it. Tired of it. Because what job does Amanda have besides this paycheck? What job does Amanda have?
I felt like I got a little bit of the feeling of this is like a very put upon kind of dad where he's a little bit like I'm sure he enjoyed being kind of like the indulgent dad for a while. And now I think he's like sitting back and going, what is this monster that I created?
Yeah. Like, damn, what did I do?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Yeah.
That Kyle is being so annoying. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
Is being so annoying, Amanda? So, you hired movers and did not take 50% of your shit after springing it on him that you were hiring movers, and then you signed a year-long lease someplace when he just thought y'all were taking like a 3-week break or something.
Yes.
But Kyle is the one being annoying?
And Kyle makes a good point later about something different, but I think it bears like bringing up right here. If she was really interested in mending this fence and like mending this, she would not be acting this way. The way that she like tattles to her dad about shit that he does, that doesn't belie a woman who is still interested in being with this man. And like this whole thing where she's mad about him going out that last night. Yes, from space, that might be a little rude, but Kyle said he felt awkward. What was he going to do? Sit there and watch her pack? Like,
I'm sorry. Amanda being pissed that Kyle did not stay home and help her.
Yes.
Is one of the wildest takes I have ever heard. Like, you sprung it on him that this was not just a little, like I'm getting an Airbnb. You've got a whole ass another apartment. You're taking one of the dogs, supposedly all of your shit, although she didn't at that, and it just speaks. I mean, it screams to her feeling of entitlement, which I cannot stand. The entitlement of sitting there thinking that your soon-to-be ex-husband that you are moving out on should have stayed in the little 2-room apartment that you guys have, 2-bedroom apartment, and helped you pack boxes to make it easier on you to move out. It's a
wild take for sure.
A wild take to me. I just can't imagine.
And like the shit talking thread, even the flashbacks with like it's like Amanda 3 noses ago from 2019. The editors are doing something here where we've already seen Kyle deny that he had sex with anybody else. He says that he has made some poor decisions about making out. Well, Amanda still maintains on camera and to her dad that he slept with someone else. And, her dad, in the flashbacks, her dad was appropriately angry. But in what we saw last night in that real-time footage, real-time, I'm doing quotes, he's kind of over it. He's just now getting the whole story about, does Kyle know that you're moving out this whole time? Does Kyle all this? And so as Amanda doles it out, you can kind of see him being like, wait a minute, this is bullshit. Amanda, what have you done here? And the way that she's shit-talking him is just not indicative of a person who still loves you or still is trying to make out a future with you guys.
Absolutely not. And I mean, Kyle even makes that point when she and Kyle are having that conversation.
Yes.
It's like, it's so obvious you don't want a future, because if you did, you would give a shit about the business stuff. And she's like, I'm going through my marriage splitting up. Oh, I'm sorry. Is Kyle not going through that as well? Like, really? And also, this was supposedly like, y'all's business. I mean, this is your husband.
Right.
This is your livelihood if you are going to make this work. So she's not a very good liar, because she doesn't like pick a story and stick to it. She needed a little bit of coaching, I feel like, on
and Amanda,
if
I think
this is your line that you're moving out to work on things, then you need to do things that make it look like you're working on things.
And Amanda is also not great at doing the work. I think when her and Kyle got together, I think she thought, okay, I'm going to eat all of this bad behavior from Kyle because he's going to take care of me. Right. You know, he's going to give me whatever life. I'm able to do whatever I want. And so I'm just going to allow this bad behavior to go on. Well, as it went on and on and on, and she is not getting what she wants, Kyle is demanding more and more of her. Hey, could you please work? Hey, could you clean up? Hey, could you do this, this, and this?
Just be like a partner, like a grown up, you know?
Yes. I think that she's like, oh, well, now I can get mad at the bad behavior. Now I can get mad at the going out. And did you catch that line where she told her dad that now she's going to have to start going out?
I did. Was that with her dad that she said?
Yes. And she was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to start going out now. And her dad's like, well, yeah, you and Kyle can figure it out. She's like, no, by myself.
Like, no, not with Kyle.
Yeah.
That's where her dad was kind of like, okay. But what about the producer calling Amanda out, though, in her little confessional? Did you catch that?
Which one? Saying what?
Okay, so, again, Amanda she is just going to die on this hill of rehashing that 10 years ago Kyle cheated on her, okay?
She married him anyway, though.
If I have to keep hearing about this, oh my God, I just want to beat her with something. But anyway, so she's rehashing it, and she's like, I mean, I had some DM from some girl, and it had video with Kyle making out with some girl. And then another time I was getting these DMs, from this girl and blah, blah. And the producer goes, and you didn't tell anybody? And she's like, I was embarrassed. All right, now.
Well, show me.
I have been in a marriage where I did not admit some of the stuff that was going on because I was embarrassed, because a deep part of me knew, I don't think that this behavior is quite, right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But not something where I had proof like that. You had DMs from these girls that have videos, or you have these conversations? Pull it up. Let's see them,
Girl, if somebody sent me a DM of my shitty husband doing some shit, every one of my friends would have gotten a copy of that. I would have screen recorded it. I would have put it in my secret folder, sent it to you, sent it to them. I would have sent it everywhere. And so would Amanda.
Amanda's over here group texting with tons of people. We know that she's not scared to screenshot some shit and then
show me
group chat. You didn't share with any of your girlfriends. Look at this wild DM that I got. No one out there has a screenshot of DMs or these texts.
And aside from any of that, you married him anyway. When you got up there and said, okay, fine, let's do it, you forewent any claim to this old beef about it. But Kyle said this a few episodes ago, and I think you might be right about Kyle might be getting some individual therapy, but he's talking about how my problems are with how our life looks right now, but Amanda's problems are with how our life looked 10 years ago, and we cannot reconcile that because she's still mad about old shit. And so it's because she's mad about that old shit, she can't see that I have a right to be mad about this new shit. And so, I mean, it was doomed from the beginning. It was doomed.
And I mean, just I do understand that. I mean, it is a problem that many couples have to work through where, it is easy, particularly I think for in a male-female relationship. I know that there's that I maybe sort of sweep under the carpet for a while, or just I don't maybe express quite how frustrated I am about something, and then resentment will build up,
Yeah.
So, but if you want to move forward with that person, you have to talk through and say, look, I have resentment from 2 years ago from this blah, 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 blah happening. And we need to talk through that and how I feel about it and whatnot. She's not doing any of that. She's just wanting to constantly throw it in his face.
Yeah.
Never make any improvements or try to move on. People do shitty things. Okay. People do shitty things to people that they love. It happens. You have to be able to talk it through, forgive each other, or at least agree, I can never forgive that, but I can forget it, or I can, whatever it is. and move on, or you have to say this was an unforgivable thing to me, and our relationship is
And see, Kyle has this kind of like really duplicitous technique. So when he is sober and it's just him, he's feeling really guilty and really sorry. And so he's trying to placate Amanda. Like, oh, I just feel so bad for how terrible of a husband I've been. I feel so bad. So I'm just going to like give in to her and like lay down for her. And she's right. I'm awful. She's wonderful. I mean, she's wonderful and I'm the worst. But then he gets a few drinks in him and his resentment bank starts to build up. And then all of the things that could have been talked about in a normal way come out and are like, summer should be fun, Amanda. Fuck you.
Right.
And then she becomes the victim because he is talked to her that way. And I think Kyle is starting to come around to the idea that like, hey man, I don't know if I should be apologizing so much to this woman. I don't know if I'm the only villain in this house.
Yeah.
And I like to see it. And later on, he says that he is the loneliest extrovert in the world. Oh my God, that broke my heart for him. Because he's at this boys' dinner or this boys' golf situation, which Andrea doesn't know how it works. He's like, what do I do? Do I swing? Golf? I don't know. But speaking of bad boyfriends, what do Kenny and Gavin hate each other? Have they always hated each other?
I mean, I'm feeling like there's like this, like, lovers quarrel now that Whitney has moved to this opposite coast or something. Because, Gavin definitely was making some, like, I mean, how about him saying that what did he say? He said, Gavin says he and Kenny are like high school girls and they share clothes. And then Kenny's immediately like, I've never worn anything of his. Like, we're not even the same size. Like,
because why would I want to wear mini clothes? So the joke got mean, like immediately, right? Like the joke could have been sort of funny, but he gets mean. And then like later on, Kenny takes it to a mean place again, where Gavin was like, because he did that same thing that you said he was doing about the murky, because he said that Gavin said that she was boring. No, he didn't. He said that y'all are pretending everything is perfect, and perfect is boring.
Right.
And so Kenny just like locks in and was like, well, you just don't like things to be without negativity and toxicity. You think something's missing, and just has a lot of mean things. And I would be really curious to know what their relationship dynamic is. Because you ever met two people, speaking of high school girls, where there is an alpha person and like she sort of expresses they're best friends, but she's mean to her a little bit, or she judges what she's wearing, or she insults us. That's the dynamic that I'm getting. That Kenny,
we're Mean Girls. Like that is that's the premise of that little group right there.
And
that's a very Regina George type move right there.
And it is. And
so I had a friend years and years ago who used to talk this way about about romantic relationships. And he would say, one person is the star and one person is the fan. And so, but I would always have this like kind of like argument with him, like, okay, but I think that the roles need to flip flop to have an equitable relationship where sure, sometimes one of you can be the star and one of you can be the fan of the star, but like it has to, and I mean, it can flip flop even within the day or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Tony, in the Kenny Gavin, it feels like Kenny's used to being the like star.
Yeah.
Gavin is the fan. Now Gavin, I think, has gotten annoyed,
Well, Toni Morrison wrote the whole book about beloved. Like oftentimes there is a beloved and then there's a lover in a relationship, and that's the exact same thing. But something is souring in this star fan relationship, because even Gavin is starting to kind of, I don't know, it's not nitpick, but it's criticize in a way. And he also calls himself the Kenny expert. Why is that a thing in this group? Like, why does somebody need to be an expert on someone else? Can we not just like explore who we are on our own 2 feet? Like, I don't need you to commentate my behavior. I don't need you to like translate what I'm doing. And I don't know, something is strange. It might just be Kenny being poison, and that everywhere he's planted, that the poison just starts to spread, because anytime that he's in a group setting, there's always some kind of underlying maliciousness. And he's saying something nasty or he's undercutting someone else. And I just find him to be scary.
I just think he's a gross person.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's got a really good, I don't know. I don't get a good vibe off of him in general. And yeah.
Well, and then Kenny, he insults Gavin outright. He was like, well, listen, you've never had a relationship for longer than 3 months. You thrive on toxicity. That's a nasty thing to say.
Yeah, about one of your supposed, like, friends. Yeah.
It's like a hater. And then I already talked about how he kind of bears down on the boring part. They tease, not the boring, but the toxicity part. They tease Kyle a little bit about having sex. I mean, I think at this point in the timeline, Kyle is still kind of like hanging on for Amanda. We know, though, that he is being a real Bravo slut, making out with all kinds of folks up and down the Eastern Seaboard. So I don't think we got to worry about Kyle.
What about Gavin being kind of a dick to Owen at this guy's night out?
Yeah, about his wife.
Why, his divorce and stuff or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think you might be right with Kenny with the toxicity, and it's sort of like trickle down toxicity where like Kenny's putting the poison out there, and then now Gavin's picking it up and like, well, Kenny's too big of a target for him, but he can attack Owen, who's the new guy.
That's a really good point, because I think Gavin is a shit starter. I think that he likes to kick a hornet's nest and enjoys the chaos that happens from it. And Kenny, like you just said that. That's a really good way to think about, like, oh, Kenny is too mean, too scary. Like, what am I going to have to for real check him? Yikes.
Yeah.
And so like the lower hanging fruit is Owen. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to see Owen get pissed. He's got that Irish in him. So then this is that scene in the family planning aisle where Lindsay's like doing a master class on ovulation and how to get pregnant and all that kind of shit. And all we know is Lexi and Andrea be fucking. Okay. They're getting after it.
How we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the milkman wants to take it slow. I thought we hated the milkman. I thought he was a chauvinist. I thought he was like misogynist. I don't know. But
really, I think we've covered everything on the show.
Yeah, I do want to say this though. Yvonne does say this really interesting thing about Lindsay. And I think a lot of women can kind of take this to heart, that Lindsay amps up her effort and gives more and more and more when she perceives her partner isn't measuring up, or she perceives her partner is not giving enough to her. So she works harder and harder to earn it. And she has to make sure she overcompensates so they can, like, if she works hard enough, they'll like love her about it. And I think that's really interesting. I think she did that with Carl. I think Carl's getting cold feet long before he actually said anything. And Lindsay really just ramped up the devotion, ramped up the loving a part of it. And that probably has to do a lot with her abandonment issues with her mom and stuff. But, my mom used to say this about my sister. I've said it on other past episodes about how her picker was broken, that my sister could be standing in front of a lineup of 10 investment banker millionaires and 1 bank robber crook. And my sister is going to pick the bank robber crook to be in a relationship with. Lindsay is in that way. I mean, not Carl, because Carl's great now, but he hasn't always been great.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about Kenny and his dad, Larry. Like, I don't give a shit about that. No. And at this point, I think that In the City might just be rage baiting us with Amanda. Every scene she's in is rage bait.
And Bravo, I'm not falling for it. I'm going to finish this season, but if Amanda comes back on In the City, I am not watching it. And if she comes back on Summer House, I'm going to have to not watch it either.
Well, I
cannot take it. I am going to break one of the TVs in our house if I have to watch this smug, stupid face.
Well, they've yanked Summer House from West. I don't think West is going to come back. But you mentioned this a little earlier too, but about this real-time gaslighting where Kyle's just talking about, hey, I just want my home again. He misspoke. What he wanted to say was my space. Like, I want my space back. But he said home, and Amanda's like, well, your home doesn't include me in it. Girl, what?
Literally moving out.
She's already moved out, been gone a week. And her shit is still everywhere.
And she asked him to bring her a specific dress.
And the dummy shows up with flowers.
Now that thought was nice.
It is nice. More than she deserves.
Was like I think he would do that for anyone as like a housewarming sort of, like So that was nice and just seemed to me in character. But then he's like, here's the dress that you wanted. Oh my fucking God. Really, Kyle? Really? You're going
Yeah.
through her leftover wardrobe? The stuff that wasn't top tier enough for her to take with her when she paid movers to move out?
Well, if I had to guess, I bet that this woman was so freaking disorganized that the movers were like, I don't know what you want. Yeah.
Sitting on the couch,
So
just like, now we got it, you know? I mean,
yeah, I mean, you know, when
she
you
should have pointed to that room and be like, okay, so all this shit that's in here, just put it in boxes.
yeah, but you know, you have to do a fair amount of the organization. You have to put stuff in boxes. You have to like get the movers ready to go. They kind of come in, they're going to move
They
it.
were putting her stuff in boxes, Sunday.
I know, but I'm saying,
we're actually packing her boxes. All she had to do was point at that room full of shit.
but I'm saying I don't know if she was like organized enough to have gotten everything out. But
Anyway, I don't know. She's great.
yeah, but the whole idea with that Kyle brought 2 fans over and he was like, nah, man, it was just 2 nice guys. It's like a friend of a friend.
Right.
That was hilarious. I was like, okay, Kyle, calm down at 2. And also quick, is the New York Marathon the funnest day in New York?
Oh, it's pretty fun.
Yeah? Because he was like,
super fun, yeah.
He was like, the funnest day, and you wanted to stay at home and whatever. So from 9 a.m.
I don't know if it's the funnest day in New York, but it is a pretty fun day.
From 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. He was going hard.
That's strong, man.
That's yeah.
Strong. I'm impressed with your amount of energy there, Kyle.
Yeah, energy that he can buy from his plug on the corner there. But, you know, Amanda's like, you know what? I know what you want from me, but I'm not going to give it to you because I don't think you can give me back. So goodbye. Goodbye, Kyle. And that was the end of the episode. Next week, I think it's going to be heavy on Yvonne and Nick's, I'm quoting here, reception. Someone's over the fighting. Lindsay's had enough. Gavin lives up to his shit starter rep. Kyle's going to jump off a cliff. And I think the girl in white should leave, says Lindsay. Which, Danielle, question mark?
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen.
Right, who's your rotten apple this week?
Okay. So,
it's not.
Bridge and Tunnel. Our Bridge and Tunnel guy is...
apple would have been good, too.
Yeah, I know. We should have done that. But our rotten apple, Bridge and Tunnel is that weird, creepy grandpa in the scooter round in the aisle trying to get on camera talk about, at least you get free milk. And like you can see them trying to maintain their composure and continue with the scene. And meanwhile, the guy's like, just like piping in, dude, get out of here. Your face is blurred. Fuck out of here. Distracting me. And you can't say Amanda, remember, because we took her out of the running.
I know. I can't say Amanda and I can't say Kenny. We said that they both could be permanent Bridge and Tunnel.
Uh-huh.
They are. I'm actually going to go with Gavin this week.
Oh, the shit stir.
Yeah, I don't love like his little like trying to make himself relevant by being mean to somebody. It just rubbed me the wrong way this week. So
yeah, I mean, I agreed. And also too, kind of feels like we're punching down whenever Kenny's mean to him.
Yeah. It's like he's a little, you know, like he's like kicking the dog kind of thing.
Yeah. Hold the kitten underwater, as I'd say sometimes.
Second runner-up is Frank for not wanting to have sex with Lindsay.
I know.
Or 3 times when she's made it clear that that's all she wants. Now, I'm not.
Yeah.
That makes
Who knows how she's acting in the moment, though? You know,
I'm like, they went on 3 dates and he won't fuck her, you know. But like, if
third date's the charm.
If she's complaining about it, you know, like then she wants things to move a little faster.
I mean, I agree.
Right.
So my big golden apple is Andrea's penis. For getting the job done. Yes, Andrea is outside generally, but he kept in there. He kept in the race. He did the job. We know that Lexi's pregnant now, even though his penis was sore, even though he wanted to give up. The app was putting him through it. He kept at it, and now she's pregnant. So
in there.
That's right. Congratulations to Andrea's Italian penis.
Well, mine is the commercial for the Real Housewives of the OC 20th season.
Not even in the show. Okay.
I made myself a note only thing worth watching was that I saw the commercial for the 20th season of The Real Housewives of OC.
God.
Vicky falling down. That's all I want to see. I just want to see Vicky falling down in every show.
I mean, I will be watching it. I didn't do any business at the top of the hour because I was so hyped. But Nolan and I are taking on McBee Dynasty. So if anybody has seen that, have you seen the commercials for the McBee Dynasty?
I have not.
Yeah, they're in the news. There's already been 2 seasons happening. So Nolan and I are catching up, kind of like you and I did with Summer House. And there's a 3rd season that's just airing this week. And they are these millionaire, conservative coded cowboys in Missouri who own a cattle farm and a cattle ranch. And they a lot of money. But the dad has been indicted for insurance fraud and is either I've been trying to avoid the news. So he's either possibly facing jail or is going to be sentenced for jail. And so it's really interesting. They're very handsome. The McBee brothers are very handsome. Fairly sure they are pretty right wing. They were probably front row at the UFC June 14th situation, but they are wildly entertaining, super problematic, but Nolan and I are covering that.
Okay,
Jeff and I, huh?
I said, that's exciting.
Yeah. And Jeff and I are going to be taking on the House of Stassi, which is later this month. And then you and I are going to need to make some decisions about what is going to take the place of in the city when it goes off. So TBD on that, y'all.
All right.
Emily's like, yeah, we'll talk about it later. Find us on all of the socials at TechApinoPod, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Vintage Vanderpump is Tuesdays and Fridays, and our mini mega crossovers are on Thursday. They've only been mini minis the last couple of weeks. Emily's been busy, but we'll back in the swing of things very soon. So, right. And then also always email Jeff at techapinopod.com.
Not Emily, because Emily doesn't check her email, especially.
That's right. Never even logged into the Google Workspace, y'all. So there could be so many emails in there telling you how awesome you are, you wouldn't even know.
I thought I did. Did I not log in?
I don't know. I was teasing. I don't know if you have or not.
I thought I downloaded it onto my phone, but I might need to check that.
Yes, well, you need a Gmail email address anyway, Emily. We need to bring you into the 21st century. But this is
email address. When I have to tell it to people, I literally had a guy like a year or so ago, like a definite 19, 20-year-old buying something or somewhere go, whoa.
Yeah.
I have Hotmail.
Listen, I had a doorman when me and Carla were going somewhere in New York, and I showed him my license, and it said, my driver's license says 1978. He says, whoa, 19?
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of people were born in the 1900s, sir.
1800s, yeah.
Like, oh my God. He was like, whoa, 19 something? Okay, rude. But anyway, we'll be here next week to drag ourselves through this. Maybe something fun will happen. Maybe the wedding reception will be worthwhile. I don't know. Otherwise, we'll see you next week, folks.
All right.